Hello, everybody. It is Draco in here once again, and you know what time it is? It's that time of the week once again. Week 4 is over, and so it is time for Week 5 predictions. Starting with the Thursday night game, which is the battle between the Peyton Manning teams, Indy and Denver. And for this one, I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos. I think that the Broncos will get the victory, moving up to, I believe, 3-2. And the Colts move down to 1-3-1. Next up, we have another London game. It's the Packers and the Giants. I think that the Packers get the win in this game. The Giants, I know they're a good feel-good story this year. They're 3-1, but they won't stay that way. They'll go to 3-2. Green Bay will move up to 4-1. And Aaron Rodgers looking like another MVP season for him. Next up, we have the Chargers taking on the Browns. I'm going to go with the Chargers for this one. I think that the Chargers, I think they have a better team than the Browns right now. The Browns, if they had Deshaun, they might be able to beat the Chargers, but I do not think they will be able to beat them with Jacoby Brissett. I don't know. The Browns may prove us all wrong, but the Browns fall to 2-3. The Chargers rise up to 3-2. Next up, we have Tennessee taking on Washington. I have Tennessee getting their third win in a row. Washington just straight up looks like crap this year, and they could be favorites for the first overall pick. I mean, they need it because they need a new quarterback, or they need a new franchise quarterback anyway, because Carson Wentz is not going to stay for long. And Tennessee on a hot streak as of late. Next up, we have the Steelers and the Bills. This one's easy. Bills take home the win, and I'm pretty sure this one is the most likely game of the week to be an absolute blowout. I think that this game won't even be close. Hell, the Steelers might even get shut out. I wouldn't be surprised. Next up, we have the game of the week, the Texans and the Jaguars. I'm going to go with the Jaguars for this one. They have the better team than the Texans this year. Well, obviously, because the Texans have won 0 games. So, yeah. Next up, we have Atlanta taking on Tampa Bay. This one will be an easy victory for Tampa Bay. I think that Atlanta is not going to be a match for Tom Brady, even though they're tied for the lead in the division somehow. Next up, we have the Bears taking on the Vikings. Same thing as the Atlanta statement. I think that the Vikings make easy work of the Chicago Bears here. Next up, we have the Seahawks taking on the Saints. I'm going to go with the Saints here. The Saints, they lost last week, even though I had them predicted to win. But they were playing the Vikings, and the Vikings are way better than the Seahawks, even though the Seahawks almost put up 50 points somehow. I don't know how they did that, but yeah. Next up, we have another division rivalry. This one won't be a contest. It's going to be the Dolphins versus the Jets. I believe it will be the Dolphins, even though they do have Teddy, because it's the Jets. I know they're ahead of the Patriots in the division right now, but still, they are, in my mind, still in last place in the division. Next up, we have Detroit taking on New England. I'm going to go with the Patriots for this one. I think the Patriots' bad streak comes to an end, and they get their first win since week 2. Detroit, it is not looking good for you. Next up, we have the 49ers taking on Carolina. Unfortunately, for me, just the more realistic option is the 49ers getting home the victory. They dominated against the Rams somehow. But, I mean, it is the Rams in the regular season playing the 49ers in the regular season, so, yeah. And the Panthers, honestly, we're just tanking at this point. Next up, we have the Cowboys taking on the Rams. I'm going to have probably the biggest upset prediction of the week. Dallas wins this game, not LA. I think that I think that Dallas wins this game just because LA, they're just too inconsistent for me. I think that Dallas is on a hot streak, and I think they're going to keep up that hot streak this week. Next up, we have Philly taking on Arizona at home. I know I said them backwards, but yeah. I believe that the Eagles will win this game. 5-0 will be the Eagles' record, as I don't think that the Cardinals are going to be much of a match for them at all. I mean, it could be a close game, but I think the Eagles still come home with the victory. I mean, the Jaguars game was only one score, so yeah. Next up, we have Sunday Night Football, a division rivalry, the Bengals and the Ravens. This one was kind of hard to predict, but I think I'm going to go with Baltimore here. I think that Baltimore has the better defense, and yeah, they definitely look like the team to beat in that division this year. I know they just choked a big lead to the Bills, but it's the Bills they're playing, and the Bills are like the number one team in the league. So, yeah, I can excuse them for that. And next up, we have Monday Night Football, another division rivalry, a lot of them this week. It's the Raiders taking on the Chiefs. I think this will be a Chiefs win. And the Raiders, they're not winless anymore, but I don't see them getting past the Chiefs, especially since they're on the road. So anyways, that is my predictions for Week 5. I know this one was sort of a short episode, but yeah, I kind of rushed it a little bit. I was too tired to do it last night, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.